Hey guys. Hey, okay. Making sure I'm live here. So today is day 3 of our masterclass, and I posted the question, do you have a routine? So just to recap, so on Monday we talked about, and if you're joining us live, make sure you say hello because again, I can see when people are here, but I can't see who it is unless you leave a comment. And then if you are watching the replay, then go ahead and type in replay. But anyway, so just to recap what we've done, we had on Monday we talked about calendars, and we're kind of going through my what do you call it? Oh, my core system of how I free up more time in my day so that we can have more time freedom and just, more time for ourselves. So like, just to feel that sense of fulfillment. So, yes, I've got like messages going off everywhere, so I apologize. I thought Robbie was going to be able to join us today, but she could not join us. She was going to try. So I kind of put off our time that we went live today so that I could get Robbie on. And so anyway, she had an appointment and obviously it didn't work out. So we're going to keep rolling. But anyway, so we're talking about my core system that I use to kind of keep me motivated and give me more time freedom in my day. And so we talked about calendars on Monday and how to just plan your day around, calendars and what types of calendars we use and how to time block. And then on yesterday we talked about like the O in core. So that's our organization. How organized are we? So today is the R in core, and that's going to be, I call it my rinse and repeat method. So really, rinse and repeat is kind of like once you establish a routine that is that works for you, then if you just continue to make it a quote routine, obviously that's going to give you that rinse and repeat method that allows you to navigate your day so that you end up with more time on your hands because everything is getting done in its routine and it's not hard to keep up with the demands of everything else behind us. So you all know the story. We wake up, we feed the kids, we get everybody dressed, everybody kind of, in my house, we make beds, we off to school. Then, for some of us, we go into work, we clock out, we have to, tend to the after school activities, and then we get home, we cook dinner, and, the rest of the story. So it's like our days are super busy. And so I can definitely see why when I talk to people that say, I just don't have time in my day for anything else, why they feel that way. And so, what I want to talk to you about is just some routines that you can add into your day or add into your week even to help free up more time so that when you're doing the day-to-day grind that you normally do, then this will help just give you a little bit more freedom, more time freedom to do some of the things that you wanted to do. So today is rinse and repeat, or AKA routines. And again, I see someone with me, so if you're on, let me know who you are. Just say hey. And then if you're watching the replay, type in replay. But I'm going to go ahead and get started because today is a busy day in my small business world. So I'm going to, oh my gosh, my dog, I hear him barking. He's got to go out. You know what? I'll just take out with me. Because if I don't, he's going to go to the bathroom wherever he wants. So anyway, with that being said, I want you to, if you have a chance, hey, Jenny. Okay, Jenny, Robbie was going to try to get on, and then she couldn't make it. So I guess she got caught up in whatever she had to do. So we are talking about routines, Jenny, and how to free up more time in our days. So I want you to ask yourself, like, do you get enough sleep? Like, just say to yourself, do I get enough sleep? And my answer to myself is always no. I know I need more sleep, but my time alone is when the kids go to sleep. And so sometimes I can even stay up extra later in the evenings just because I get to working on whatever it is I'm working on. But another question you can ask yourself is, do I usually finish off my to-do list? So if you have a task or to-do list, are you getting things accomplished? Something else, do you do things for yourself? So like today, I had to go get my hair done. and I had to work that into my schedule. But are you able to, like Thursday night, I've got some friends that want to go have wine, and because I lay out my schedule the way I do, I'm able to fit some of those things in. So ask yourself, like, are you like finding things that you can do for yourself in your day? And the other question I want to ask you is, are you fulfilled? Like, when I say, am I fulfilled? Like, I want to stop and think, is my life fulfilling at this point? And if you answered no to any of those, then today's the day, hopefully, that you'll get some clarity on that, and we can really kind of talk about some things that will make your life easier. So we talked about this, from meal planning, chore charting, the family calendar, all of those things. If you're not in a routine, they're going to set you off balance, obviously, right? So today, let's start talking about. So what I've got for you is actually 4 routine tips. Okay, so 4 things that you can do to get yourself back into a routine, so that can start freeing up time in your day. So the first one is daily routines. And that kind of goes back to that first part when I was like, you get up, you do this, you do this, you do this. But with your daily routine, are you finding time to accomplish the things that have to be done, like getting enough sleep, like checking off your to-do list? So let me just give you some examples of how that will work. So if you have a morning routine, let me know, okay? Because that's what I'm going to kind of talk about right now. If I want to know everybody's morning routine. So if you have a morning routine, okay. So Robbie just texted in and said that her kids are getting out of school early. So I'm sure that's because of the flooding. I heard that may happen, and she's in Tennessee. So yeah, I kind of expect that we will have that going on later. Our storms haven't started. But anyway, so morning routine. Things that you can do to help your morning routine. So we know that we have to get up, we have to get the kids, we have to drop them off, do all that kind of crazy stuff. But are you establishing a routine for just you? So one thing I always suggest first is to, the very first thing you can do to change your morning routine is to get up 30 minutes early. I like to get up and check my messages, look at my emails, things like that. And so I make it a point to set my alarm 30 minutes early. So even though my feet don't hit the floor, I'm awake and I'm getting some things done that I want to do for me. Like, I want to check my social media. I want to, and the dog is barking again. I want to check my social media. I want to check my emails. I go work out every morning. And so as part of my morning routine. And so I literally have to check Instagram to see what it is on Instagram, what the workout is. It's kind of like somebody posted a meme or something like walking into burn, not knowing what the workout is. And they're like, it's like a picture of the Bird Box, what's her name? Sandra Bullock wearing like the mask or whatever for Bird Box. But anyway, that's kind of how I feel. So like all those things I want to do, and I don't want to like get up and start doing all that while I'm trying to get kids ready. Like, it just never works. But it gives me that 30 minutes just to kind of go through and do whatever I want to do. Make your bed. That's another great thing that you can do in the morning, because when you make a bed, and there's like this whole speech, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but when you make your bed in the morning, like automatically you feel better. There's something about it that says, okay, I'm ready to start the day. My house is in order. I don't have to worry about, doing anything this evening, whatever. Like, make your bed. I'll try to see if I can find that speech, but it's pretty good. But it tells, like, this is why you make your bed. And it just kind of frees up more, just clarity in your mind. And so what I'll do is I'll wake up 30 minutes early, do all the little social media stuff I want to do. Then I make my bed, and then I wake my kids. So that's one thing that you can do to start helping your morning routines if you don't really have one. Afterwards, then while the kids are getting dressed, I go make breakfast, I go drop the kids off, and then I work out. Like, that's a no, like, that is my routine. Like, I don't give it up. It is what it is. Like, that's what I do, and that's what I do for me, because it's giving me my time to wake up a few minutes early, and I get that workout time. So that's both things in one. But it's non-negotiable. Like, that's my routine. And if you mess with my routine in the morning, like when my daughter can't take the other one to school, it totally throws me off. So if you don't have an established routine in the morning, obviously you're going to be thrown off for the day. So the other daily routine that you should really focus on is the nightly routine. So what are you doing at night? And these are some tips that will help you kind of just get ready for the evening, kind of wind down, all that kind of stuff. And if you could really just pick up on a few of these tips and just start doing them every single night, you're going to find that there's going to be more time for you. So for example, my kids lay out their clothes. I know if they don't do that, my morning routine is going to be jacked. So make sure I do that. Plan and prepare breakfast. So I'll ask them even before they go to bed, what do you want for breakfast in the morning? If it's cereal, super, like I could totally handle that. If it's something that they need because they have testing or whatever, then I make adjustments to that. But I like to plan that out so I know what the morning's going to be like. It just flows. Make lunches. So the night before school, we always pack our lunches. I don't want the kids to have like soggy sandwiches, so I'll usually just will make that while I'm doing breakfast or whatever for them and put it in their lunchbox. But having their lunchboxes packed and their backpacks ready, like it's going to make my morning even better. Clean the kitchen. Like y'all, if you're not cleaning up that kitchen and you wake up to a dirty sink, what it's going to do to you, right? So that's another thing you can do every night. Just get the kitchen clean, straighten up the pillows on the couch, all that kind of stuff. And then, just always staying in the habit of putting things away or putting things in their place. If you can continue to put things in your place, then it doesn't pile up on you. And then at the end of the evening, after I get the kids to bed, I sit down. That's another time I go on social media and I clear out my emails because I don't like them to pile up on me. So yeah, morning routine, nightly routine. And if you can start to establish that routine, then you're going to start seeing, oh, I do have a little bit more spare time in my day. Oh, I do have a little spare time in the morning. I can get some stuff done. So, but it's got to be non-negotiable. You just got to make that routine, say, this is what I'm going to do to get it done. And then you don't change it. And once you start doing that, everyone else kind of gets accustomed to it. So, like the clothes are not getting laid out and things like that. The kids just know mom needs that done and it gets done. So hopefully that will help. So the second tip, so the first tip is on routines, is establishing your daily and your morning and your nightly routine. Okay. The second tip I have is to utilize the internet so that you can put things more on autopilot. So routines, when it comes to putting things on autopilot, which is kind of what even the morning and nightly routines are. It's automation. Okay. But the utilizing the internet. So if you're not using like Kroger, ClickList, anything like that, and you need more time so that you don't have to spend your time at the grocery, then that's a great time to set up your Kroger, your shopping list. And then all you have to do to free up time for yourself is to run and go pick them up. And I like that because it actually will save your previous orders. So a lot of things we just get, like the bread, the milk, and lunches and stuff like that, it just automatically saves and we're good to go. So, and then of course, setting up bill payments, if you haven't already done that, that's going to free up a lot of time for you, because I was talking yesterday about, Friday paydays and you have to pay bills. So there are going to be some bills that you can't do online, but setting up things on autopilot will free up time on that Friday when you have to pay bills, like, because you don't have to sit down with them. And most of you already know this stuff, but these are just like my tips I use to keep my routine, to keep my life, in a constant flow, and makes life a lot easier. So the third tip that I have for you is meal planning. So I'm going to go back to meal planning because I talked about that yesterday and how it's a great way to keep yourself organized. But I talked about how I use Trello to organize my meal plans and my shopping list. But if you can get in the habit of meal planning, so I meal plan on Sunday and then I meal prep on Monday, I don't ever stop and have to think, like, what is for dinner? Or do I have to run over here and get the kids dinner? Like, it's just autopilot. And I know that I go pick up the kids at school in the afternoon. I get home around 4, and I automatically will go ahead and start preparing that meal for that night so that at 5 o'clock, 5:30, everybody's ready to eat. It just, like, that is my afternoon routine pretty much. But making sure you have, because if not, I'd walk in the door at 4 o'clock and be like, what's for dinner? And I'd have to search, and I'd hem-haw around in the fridge and this and that and the other. So it just makes life a lot easier. Makes your afternoons kind of flow. And it helps with cleanup and dinner and things like that too. And then the fourth routine, the fourth tip I have for establishing routine is to establish what we call like our weekly routine, weekly reset. So with the weekly reset, you have actually there's like three parts to your weekly routine: to do a reset, to do a review, and then to do a plan. So the reset is basically when you and I have some notes here, but basically a reset. So that's going to be like starting your week fresh. Okay, so an example of that might be, and I don't do this all the time, but this is something that we're just like, I don't know, we're not the best at keeping clean sheets. Like, it's just never like really one of my priorities. But an example, if I really wanted to like get focused on clean sheets, like if that was a priority of mine, so Sunday to do my reset, I would pull the sheets, wash the sheets. While those are washing, I'd fold any clothes that were left over. But it also helps because your clothes, the kids' clothes for the week, whether they're in uniforms or whatever, they're clean. They can be folded. You can even go as far as like laying them out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that helps with that. Just tidying up the house, clearing out those, papers we talked about that can kind of pile up. Going to the grocery store, and then, finally you can put your sheets back on the bed. Everything's done for the week. You can lay down and you can relax, and you can know I'm going into this week reset. Like, I have reset everything. So it's kind of just like an overhaul and starting over. Great way to, start establishing just some sorry. It's just a great way to start establishing a routine weekly so that you can get a fresh start every time. But then there's the weekly review. And so I'm not sure if you've ever heard the book. It's called David Allen's Getting Things Done. So in a nutshell, this book is the process of taking all the information that you've set aside and then going through and looking at it so that you can move into the next week. So it's like taking everything, all the mail that comes in, all the kids' notes, all that kind of stuff. Going through, I told you I sit down and do my calendars every week. So I pull out the family calendar, the kids' assignments for that week, and I just start looking, what is my next week going to look like? And I start planning it out. So that's my weekly review. So now on Sunday, not only do I have a reset of my house, but now I know what the next week's going to look like, okay? And it just makes it so much easier, you guys. And one thing I do with those papers, because, kids' artwork and school stuff, it all kind of accumulates, right? So for what I do is I have like a drawer in my hutch over here. And so when I clear out the kids' backpack and when I do my weekly reset, if they have artwork or whatever, I stick it like, this is Banks's drawer, this is Cruz's drawer, and I start putting everything there. So then once a month, I'll take those things. I have a box, it's a big Tupperware box, and it has each child's name on it. So basically there's these file folders inside, and this one is important information, class pictures, artwork. There's a file for almost everything in there. And so once a month, I'll take the papers out of the drawer and I'll go file them away. And what I plan to do is just give that box to those children when they turn 18 and say, here, this is all your stuff. Enjoy. I kept it. Mama did her part. But that way, that artwork and all that kind of stuff is not just piling up everywhere. School pictures, and that way, too, when I need something like a school picture from 4th grade or whatever. So my daughter just graduated this is her 2nd year of college. But when I got ready to do her party and to do pictures and send pictures in, y'all, it was so easy just to go to her box and pull out every picture that she had from grades K through 4, put them in order. And I actually made this really cute board that showed her from kindergarten and all the way over to her senior year. But if I had not had that box, I consider where I would be. I would be all over the place. So it just made my life easier. But I make that a routine, because if I don't, it'll get away from me and I won't ever do it. So I file those papers away, each week. Then once a month I grab them and I go put them where they go. So it's just it's a combination of putting things where they go, and it's a combination of just staying in the habit of doing something. And then finally, after you do your weekly review with your calendar, what your next week's going to look like, I always recommend doing a weekly plan. Okay, so a plan of action for the week. So let's say you, after you add all your important dates and things like that for your calendar for your weekly review, um, let's say you may have forgotten or something, or you have this, huge to-do list, okay? So that's where you start time blocking and start plugging in. Where can I make this work? I've got to tackle this and I've got to put it in here. And that's kind of a plan of action to get things accomplished. So you've got your weekly calendar, all the things that have to be done next week, and then you take all those tasks and to-dos and anything else, and you start plugging them into where you can fit them so that you're able to knock that out. And if you do that week after week, all of a sudden, you're caught up and you're not overwhelmed by stress and everything else that goes on. So when I say rinse and repeat, like literally, it's almost a sense of organization. You've got to be organized to do it. But if you can stay in the habit of doing these routines, you're going to find so much more freedom in your life. Like I can't even begin to tell you. And so if you're having problems with that, if you're struggling a little bit with organization, feel free to reach out to me. I've got tons of ideas that I do to kind of keep things in their place. And so I'd love to share those ideas with you. But just making sure that you take care of, reoccurring tasks, monotonous things. It just allows you more time to focus on your attention on you, right? So like on meaningful tasks that bring you joy, basically. So, and that's the time freedom and the fulfillment that this masterclass was about. So I really hope that you pulled some nuggets today. If you have any questions about some things that I covered, feel free to reach out or comment in the live. But yeah, so calendars are important, organization is important, but routine. So keeping up a routine will keep that organization like that. Basically the routines make the organization happen. So you can't have one without the other, right? Tomorrow we're going to be talking about finding enjoyment. Okay, finding something that energizes you. So that's going to be the E in our core, in the core system. So once you get all these other things done and you are able to accomplish them, then you're going to be able to find the excitement and the joy in your life. And we're going to talk about that and some things that can bring you more fulfillment and more joy and, make you wake up every day and just be super excited about what the day holds. So I hope you join us tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 4. And if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out. And I'm really enjoying this week. I think it's flowing really beautifully. So I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.